Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Comics Della Morte, episode 29, Big Break. And this is going to be the starting episode of a very good book of American Vampire. And starting off, I'm Ronnie Gunter, Crimson Isle Comics. My co-host, Jason Alexander, Frogbreaker Studios. He can't make it tonight. He's very busy with deadlines, which we all understand that, with work, our the day job, and then us artists, writers, we're making comics that we haven't made money off of, and we're doing this because we love the craft. And then the money that comes along, that's great and everything. So yeah, sometimes we can't do the show, but I thought to push it on and not wait for next week. So just gonna pretty much review the first issue, and I'll pretty much lay the layout of what the volume is. Like I said, American Vampire. The volume is written by it's two stories, one written by Scott Snyder and one by the legendary horror writer Stephen King, which is awesome because me and Jason are both Stephen King fans. And the Snyder story, we follow a 1920s LA woman named Pearl, who's has a really one of those women, or anybody in the 1920s, who really wanted to follow that career of becoming an actor. And we pretty much will see that in the beginning. And then with Stephen King's story later on, we're going to follow the story about a Western named Skinny or Sweet. The original American vampire, stronger, faster creature than any other vampire seen before, and pretty much how these two people collide and become allies through this whole venture. So yeah, let's just start getting to the review, and let's see who's in the chats. By the way, what's up, Rude Eats? How you doing? And Gary, thank you for stopping by like always. Hope you like the review. And before I get into the story too, just want to shout out Mini Comics Bundles, Aaron Guzman, the artist, my co-host Jason Alexander, the writer. Every month there is new 5 mini books of Mini Comics Bundles for only $5. These books are amazing. The campaign is only for, I believe, a whole year. So you guys got to buy them. They're really great. Like I said, short mini comics about this size. The print quality is amazing. The artwork is amazing. The story is solid. You just got to go out and buy it. I mean, it's amazing. Just can't say it enough. But yeah, so let's get into the story. So right here, we're just starting off in the time period, July 1925, 30 miles east of Los Angeles. And pretty much here, nothing too like special, just showing like a nighttime scene. And I love, even though that me and Jason are both big fans of with the whole black and whites, but I like when they take like colors and make it dark and gritty, and this definitely has like that nighttime theme to it, so I really like that. And pretty much starting off, you have Pearl just pretty much giving her story of how she first fell in love with the idea of acting. So she was pretty much saying, at 8 years old, she saw her first movie. And pretty much during this process of her telling her story, we're just following this vehicle that's going out in the middle of the desert. Nothing, probably late at night, maybe 2-3 o'clock at night. It's definitely one of those things that, okay, why is a car going out in the desert late at night? It means trouble. So pretty much here we see the car stop, and then all of a sudden you see this dark rope figure coming out. So this is now we know, okay, something bad is going to happen. And then just a little bit more of the story here. her talking about how like her when her father took her to this grocery store in the back of the like from what I'm reading, it's in an area where only the employees could go, and that's where she confronts her first time seeing a motion picture instead of like cartoon characters. This would have been of live people, but during that time it would have been during the silent area, I believe. So it wouldn't have like any music, but it would definitely, or any words, so it definitely would have like just the actors performing and everything. So that's really cool. And right here you just see the dark robed figure and a woman just lying in the back, and you know that, okay, dark figure, woman in the back, this just has to mean bad news. And then all of a sudden you find out that, yeah, uh this has just gotten to be really worse. And then there you go, a bunch of dead bodies, of naked women, just holes all over. You could see their eyes popped out of their socket, the lips like all gritty, and their teeth showing with any blood left over. So really gruesome there. And pretty much here, like I was saying about, the grocer and his wife, they turned the storage room into a makeshift. So yeah, just it was really cool. I like how they pretty much are trying to tell her origin of how she fell in love with acting, but still give that eerie feeling to like you would see in horror movies sometimes, where it would pretty much show the fate or what happened to a victim while trying to tell something, you know, exciting from their past. In a way, I can't put it, but yeah. So here we just pretty much have like the body being dragged. Not too much detail, but you know, that's the great thing about making comics. Everything doesn't have to be detailed and to crisp. And also too, the artist who drew the pages is, let me see, Raphael Albuquerque. Really good job. You'll see how throughout the rest of the series how his work is just really great. So here we see now like this hooded figure pretty much has been doing this for a while, that you literally see all these dead bodies just looking up from the pit, and probably in terror if any of them are alive, or they're all dead at this point. But you see the one of the girls that he threw in the pit, or she threw in the pit, we don't know who the hooded figure is, that this woman is pretty much alive and she's crying and she's just yelling, trying to yell for help. But the hooded figure doesn't care, and or maybe doesn't even hear him. So now we have the moon and the stars, and then we go into a little great transition here where we have another moon and the stars, but it looks very more painted and everything. And that's because now we're going back to, like it says, 3 days later, where you see her friend Haiti and her pretty much in these toga uniforms, and you find out that they're expiring actresses trying to make it big in the business, and just have this beautiful set design here with the elephants, and just talking about like the first ever Romeo and Juliet in Florence with turbans and stuff. Just crazy stuff there, but I really love the detail here. And I love too that, with as an artist as well, you have this character here. You don't need to always have like all the characters be like actual drawn out. You could focus just on the two people that you want, like these two women, Haiti and the main character here, Pearl, and pretty much just focus on them while the other characters are just a black shadow, because that's not who you want your main focus to be. So sometimes when you have like too many characters, shown on one panel, your eyes are kind of wandering away from the uh, key focus on who you're supposed to be paying attention to. So I like that. So pretty much here, they're just talking about like, but once the movie ended, everyone in the theater started asking who she was, and that, my dear, was when I knew I was invited to be in the movie. So pretty much just talking about their dreams and everything. And here you just have different people on the sets, different set designs. Like I said, you have more of the people here that you could see, but the farther back, the people are less detailed, which, you know, you don't need to have people fully detailed. But at this point, they're just pretty much talking about their dreams. And here they're just, the way I would put these two girls' relationships is kind of like, if anyone ever seen that show Two Broke Girls, where both of these girls had the same passion, and they wanted to become pretty much famous and do their own thing while they're trying to have a 9 to 5 job. Because I mean, how many of us really aspire to do that, especially indie comic book creators? So here they're just screaming because, they're getting ready to do a screen for the movie set, or the movie scene, I should say. So now, flash forward, you pretty much have the set gone, and everyone's closing up for the night. And now they're heading to their apartment, and they're pretty much come across this guy who, from what I could tell, has been there for a while, and the girls are just really freaked out and weird about why this guy's been around for a while. As you can see, speaking of deadbeats, he's back again. This is the third day in a row. But it's like, well, enough is enough. If he's here tomorrow, I'm going to do something. Wait, what? If he's a sex offender or something? And just, really funny dialogue. Like, then I'll maybe be sure to give him your number. It's like pretty funny stuff. You could tell that these two girls, like, during their conversation, you could really get a sense of that they've been friends for a while. So later that night, pretty much, I think she's going to visit someone about like more acting gigs, and then she comes across Bobby. And then also too, you see this club I pretty much got where Pearl's, like, I believe, going to. Yeah, she's at this point, you see that Pearl is like one of those girls in the 1920s that would walk around like old clubs and sell cigarettes and stuff like that to any of the people in the club, and pretty much getting groped on and being sexually harassed. And she pretty much just wants to be respected and looked up to as great actors. And pretty much now, back to that one scene where she was talking to that guy in the lobby. Just pretty much, you could tell that he really likes her, and he's been trying to pretty much get her to have coffee with him. And talking about, well, I've asked you for coffee 3 times, and so far I've come up with 3 straight strikeouts. So how about it? You want to grab a cup of coffee? So yeah, nothing too special there. But this scene I really like. I love the detail, with the whole cars and everything like that. And also too, if I might say, as an artist, you have to do a really good job on not just drawing, but if you're going to do a time period piece like the 1920s or the Western times, you have to really dig in there and make sure that if you're going to do a time period piece, that the characters not, you don't have to have them sound like if they talked like that every single time, because sometimes they had sayings back then that people don't understand. But if you could get like the costume designs, like the way she has her hat, her coat, and the way he's dressed, that really gets the audience drawn into more, to making it believe that it's from that time period. So pretty much here, they're just walking, talking about, how their day is going. And here he's like, Pearl, it's just a walk, some friendly conversation. I'm not swinging for the fences here. I'm butting. Let a man bunt. Okay. So yeah, he's just trying to be nice and just try to walk her home. I mean, but of course, I mean, probably she's trying to be a strong, independent woman, and she just doesn't want to have a relationship going on. I mean, it's tough because it's one of those things that, guy or woman, if you're trying to get into the entertainment business, sometimes you don't have time for relationships. And I've seen that with friends of mine who are aspiring actors, who are like acting on stage, that I went to college with and everything. So yeah, I could totally relate, because I haven't been there, but I have friends that have been there myself. So just, pretty much having their conversation still. And I love the views here. I mean, I always love a panel within a panel, because literally you're able to set that scene on showing where they're at, but still have like those great details on their facial expressions and everything. So now, after the whole walk to the coffee shop and everything, now Pearl's back with her friend. And I guess it's day 2 of shooting, I guess, the Romeo and Juliet movie that's in like togas and stuff like that. And pretty much at this point, you have the director. He's needing someone to do a code read, a cold read, because I guess one of the other actresses has stepped out. So Pro's coming up to the bat. And now here we have this awesome shot with, I believe that's Neptune. Yeah, Neptune. And you have the main actor here, the main leading role. Main male leading role, and pretty much a big buff guy. But you could tell just from the way she looks at him and everything, that he's one of those actors that she probably looks up to and admires, just not by the conversation here, but just the way you could tell the face is drawn and everything. And I love how Raphael just made the background characters here as like one solid color, because again, you could have the background characters be a silhouette or just one solid color, so that way the other characters just pop out more. But yeah, right here you have Mr. Hamilton, and of course he's like trying to tell her, you don't have to call me that. And just now we have this beautiful shot where literally the lights are shining on them, they're connecting eyes, and pretty much they're getting ready to kiss for the shot, and he's getting ready to slip her something, and she's like, okay, what is this? And it's an address. So it's like, okay, maybe she made it big now, and she's like, okay, great, awesome. Now I got into like connections with the big leading actors. Maybe they could give me more roles, or give me a shot at more roles, just to pretty much help me on my path of becoming a great actress. So now here, flash forward again to the apartments, and she's pretty much telling her friend Haiti to hurry up and everything. And now you got this creep guy again, which I love the dialogue. Just the dialogue that was written for the character was just really great. Well, 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 creepy cowboy. I understand that the giant sign on the gate can be easily to miss, but this place is supposed to be only for women. Oh, you love it. Come again? I meant it. You old birds love having a cock in your hen house. That was pretty funny. That made me laugh right there. But pretty much, yeah, it's like, listen, I don't know which poor girl you're shacked up here with, but I ain't shacked up with anybody, Dolly. I just like your pool, and my dance card is open. So pretty much, he's hitting on her, and she's not trying to make it obvious that he made her laugh and everything because she wants to act like a jerk towards him. Because, like I said, she's just not trying to focus on relationships. But he's just trying to be polite and have great conversations. And now here we're pretty much seeing more of a conversation building up between these two characters. Good. Why are all the jerks always the cute ones? Just don't be here tomorrow, or I really will call someone. The sheriff. So pretty much we're like, okay, why is this guy calling her the sheriff? What's his story? Why is he going around here? But at the same time, he's trying to get something out of her. And then she tells him about like the party that she was invited to. But it seems like now, instead of making fun of her and like just being like not rude, I would say pretty much like trying to make a pass on her in a way, he's now trying to like pretty much say, okay, this party, you don't need to go. You just need to stay here and not focus on any of that, because he's like, believe me, honey, it get his get-togethers, a bunch of cheese sniffing Europeans drinking with their pinkies out. Why don't you stay here? I'll show you a real party. Drinks, but I will. Thanks, but I'll happen to like drinking with my pinky out. Okay, I'm ready to. And pretty much, here with the dialogue, you just have to read the book to find out more, because I don't want to give too much detail. But here we see that the characters really having this guy in the cowboy hat is really trying to like hint something at the girl that, we can't, I can't let you go to that party because something's bad going to happen. And here with the silhouette, you could kind of see like teeth hanging out. So is that a vampire? We don't know. But, sometimes those silhouettes or sometimes the main characters here are drawn in a certain way that kind of give us a hint of what's going on. So, and now we're here at the party. Really great shot here, showing the detail of how big this place is. But yet again, you don't have to go into pure detail. You can have a black silhouette with a couple yellow boxes to really give that depth of how big a building is. So really great job there. I love the purple sky. Always don't have to go with blue all the time. And then in the back, you see the Hollywood signs there. And now a really great shot in this ballroom where pretty much they're talking about like, where's all the famous people at? And you could tell that Pearl pretty much loves anything Hollywood, like she's been talking about in the beginning of how she grew up watching movies and stuff like that. And I guess her friend pretty much is like, wants to be an actress, but she's not all hip in pretty much who's who. And you just literally have like that's going on. And pretty much here you have an idea of like, just in case old BD waves his magic wand and makes you a big star tonight and I never see you again, just want to say thanks. And she's like, thanks for what? Because you dope. You inspire me. You really do. You got this dream and you never give up. You're so tough, Pearl. Tough? I take the 9 car downtown every night to get to the club. It passes right by the Union Pacific ticket office. I'm telling you, there isn't a single night that I don't think about going inside that station and buying a ticket home. But every day I try to remember the small good things that have happened already, which is very true. There are times that I could tell you that as a creative, uh, as a creative artist, and no matter what field you are, music, writing comics, drawing comics, sometimes, the easy way out is to just give up, because if you're especially doing indies, it's a hard field to pretty much get into. But like I said, you got to do it because you love it and you want to do it, not because of the money. Because when you do anything for the money, it gets tired really fast. That's why people tell you to pretty much go for the dream job that you want to make you happy. It's not always about money. So, yeah, just really great shot here. Pretty much of, the actor guy. And you could see that he has a date. So pretty much you thought that Pearl was going to be his date, but then he separated from her. And it's like, okay, what's going on? Meeting you here, for one, the way that the sun feels on my skin, that weird sweet sound the palm trees make outside our balcony. And now he's taking her upstairs to PD. And here you see literally PD and a bunch of guys in a room, and she's shocked. I mean, who wouldn't be? You literally have this woman, because sadly enough, in the 1920s, you had Julie Garland and all these other actresses who were taken advantage of. And even, with little kids, guys too. A lot of people were taken advantage of in Hollywood, and it wasn't for like people like for Betty White and other pioneer women in that time period to really set standards and make sure that women aren't preyed upon. And sadly, women are still getting preyed upon by big wigs or anyone in Hollywood. If you pretty much don't do the things that they say, they're going to blacklist you and ruin your career. So, or even worse, sexually harass you. So pretty much, here, that's probably much what Pearls thinks is going to happen, is that she's going to be sexually harassed. Because why would a strange woman go upstairs and then you have all these men surrounding her and pretty much saying like, soon, very soon, you'll be able to hear for the first time the voices of America's biggest movie stars, hear them talking, singing, and begging for your attention. And I will make these films for you, Miss Pearl. But you see the bitter irony of the situation. Please don't. Is that I myself don't want to hear anything you have to say. And after that, you could see that, the background is a red. Their eyes are kind of like a shiny, almost like a pinkish red tint to it. And I like that too, because it really sets the tone of like literally the transition. Let me go back here. How much it was like almost like the background for her was a darker tannish color, kind of like the color of skin. And literally now we're going to a red hint, pretty much of blood. And then she gets screams. And why is she screaming? Because now you have all these vampires literally rushing towards her, getting ready to pretty much suck her dry of her blood. And this I really love for as a comic book horror creator, is that you don't always have to have to show the creature fully. You could literally have just a black silhouette, and here how they have like the beating eyes be just white, and showing their teeth, that to me sets more of it's, a horror theme, because you really don't know now what's going to happen to her unless you seen the part of the first book and realize that that woman who was in the ditch crying, say, "Hey, I'm still alive," is Pearl. So literally, this woman Pearl was sucked dry pretty much of her blood, with holes all over her skin, kind of like you if you ever seen like Interview with the Vampire, the movie, where you saw that little guy where Brad Pitt was trying to find a part of his body that was bitten, because he had holes all over his body where he was bitten at multiple times. And that's pretty much what happened to her with the vampires here. So yeah, sorry about rushing through this stuff. Sometimes it's hard to pretty much do this, you know, without getting a second opinion and stuff. But it's great though. Like I said, the book is really great. I can't wait next week for me and Jason to pretty much review Stephen King's version, of where we get to have another time period back in the Western times, and pretty much see like the very first American vampire, see how he's born, and pretty much see, like I said, how if he survived, if he was been in the Western times, like pretty much see his life story from, I believe what it would be like, I don't know the time period, maybe the 1700, no, I think 1600s. I must be, I'm not sure, but anyone in the chats or anyone watching the movie, or not movie, the show afterwards, if they know exactly what time the whole American outlaw time period was, I believe it was the 1600s, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong on that. Just pretty much, it'd be great to see how he was able to survive pretty much from that time period up to the 1920s, and how they meet past. So yeah, that'll be really great to see. But yeah, sorry this episode isn't too long, but like I said, go check out my co-host's campaign going on, minicomicsbundles.com. Him and Aaron Guzman, every month they come out with 5 different issues of stories. Some of them are one-off issues. Some of them are continuing stories. Some are horror. Some are wrestling thing. And yeah, just thank you always for guys following, coming in the chat. Rudy, Gary, and anyone who's watching the show afterwards. We just really appreciate everything that you guys do by just supporting and showing the love. And we do have a Discord, so anyone who wants to join the Discord, just pop in there and say hi. And if more people come in the Discord, yeah, I'll get in the chats and chit chat with you. And sometimes I might be able to like, hey, weekend we'll watch a free horror movie and just talk about it and stuff. So yeah, really cool stuff we could do with the Discord going on. But I'll see you all next week. You have a great night. Bye.